It's time for Commonwealth Common Sense with Susan Stimpson and Kevin Scholla.
Hey, Susan, how's it going?
Hey, Kevin, it's going great. Just had a chance to hear Ted Cruz speak tonight in Richmond.
Well, I'm glad he has a voice, after the 21-hour speech. It's good to see he's still going and delivering that positive message.
He seems to have kept his stamina, and he is on message, and I do wish that many Americans had an opportunity to hear the other side of the story.
Now tell our listeners where you saw him speak and what the event was that he was at.
The Family Foundation was having their annual gala, and there was a fantastic turnout. I would say there was well over 1,000 people that were there at the Richmond Convention Center. And Ted Cruz was the guest speaker, but Ted Cruz's father gave his introduction, and his dad had escaped from Cuba as a teenager, and he came here to America, and he worked hard, and so he really had a story to tell.
I think it was Glenn Beck, but somebody a few months back, Steve Deace maybe, I forget who it was, so I hope I'm crediting one of the right people here, but, the sentiment will resonate either way. But I remember them saying, you don't have to worry about Ted Cruz ever flopping on us, ever changing from sticking to his guns, because all you have to do is look at his dad and hear his dad once and know that if he ever did that, forget about the American people, he'd have to answer to his dad.
It's true, and there was a touch of humor tonight, and really the whole tone and the tenor of tonight was just talking about where we are and some of the very simple truths of what is happening right now with President Obama and with Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, just simple decisions that they are making that are outrageous.
As Sarah Palin says, those barricades, right?
Yeah, that was funny. I saw that. She's good at coming up with those one-liner quips.
Now, did Cruz speak or touch upon at all his thoughts on when this shutdown may end and or what it would take? And also, not Cruz, but these other Republicans, do we see them caving once again, or will this keep going, and will they stick to it this time?
He used examples of how the American people have risen up on issues that they're paying attention to and that they care strongly about, where they can effect change. And one of those had to do with this Obamacare, the issue with Obamacare right now in Congress, that the congressmen are hearing from their people, and that's why they voted the way that they did. But also on the issue with Syria, when the people of America were very concerned that we were getting involved in a sectarian war in Syria where there were no American interests, that the president did an about-face once the people rose up. And so he does believe that this is something that is within the power of the people to effect a resolution to this. He said that he was against the shutdown, that is not at all what he wanted, and that the Congress has put forward very reasonable compromises that the president refuses to even negotiate. And from my perspective, I'm chairman of the board in Stafford, and if for some reason the government in Stafford County shut down, at the end of the day, it would be my responsibility as the chairman to bring the certain parties together to make sure that the government is functioning, and really the responsibility ultimately does lie with President Obama, and he is failing our country right now.
And meantime, while all these serious things are happening that are affecting real Americans, the president's talking about that all-important issue of whether or not the Washington Redskins name is offensive.
Yes, he's very good at shining the light on a different area.
Well, Susan, we appreciate you shining the light here on great American Ted Cruz, who stood up for us a couple of weeks ago with his 21-hour historic speech, and now able to be there with you in Virginia on a great night. So we appreciate it. Thanks for the update and the inside information, and we'll talk to you soon.
You are welcome, and we'll talk to you next week.
Susan Stimpson in Virginia. More Commonwealth Common Sense next week.